Hi everyone, and welcome to the 20-minute at-home butt workout. All the equipment you need is a chair. So let's get started. Let's start off with our warm-up. You know me, if you've seen any of the videos I've done so far, I love to start off with some squats because we're going to be doing something similar to squats in these workouts. So make sure when you go down into your squat, make sure you're pushing your butt back. Try to press off with your heels, and let's try to go slow on these. That way we really activate our muscles. Try to go down slow and try to go up slow, and try to make sure you're breathing. All right, now let's go into some side lunges. So with side lunges, you're gonna wanna still push your butt back as much as you can and make sure that that knee is not going past your toes. Still try to stay upright as much as you can, and you should be feeling this in your inner thighs and all in your legs. Alright, so now let's go into some front lunges. So we're going to do a lunge and then we're going to go back to the starting position. Make sure when you go down into your lunges, your knee isn't going past your toe. Try to make sure that your knee is right above your heel. Most of the weight should be in the front leg. And try to press off with that heel when you stand up. If you want to work your butt, that is. Alright, now that we're halfway done, let's switch legs. So remember the same exact thing. Try to go down slow, come up slow, and make sure you have good form. We don't want to have any injuries. Alright, now we're finishing up our warm-up. I'm going to tell you what we're going to be doing. We're going to be using the chair for a few exercises, but if you don't want to use the chair, you don't have to. It's just there to make the exercise a little bit more harder or easier. So we're going to get straight into the workout. We're going to do some hip bridges. So we're going to do single leg hip bridges. Make sure you're pressing off with your heel and make sure that you're pressing your hips as high to the sky as you can. You can also modify it by putting your foot on the floor to make it a little bit easier. So that's up to you. Try to put it on the floor for easier. If you want it harder, put it on an elevated surface. Alright, so we're halfway done. Let's switch legs and do the other side. So remember, press off with the heel, squeeze your butt and bring your hips up as high as you can. Alright, good job. So we're doing 50 seconds on, 10 seconds off. The next exercise, we're going to do a single leg RDL, a Romanian deadlift. So you don't need the chair for this exercise. So try to make sure you have a slightly bent knee, and the other leg is you're just gonna lift it up behind you. Try to keep your hands close to your leg. If you need an extra thing to help you stabilize, you can put your hands on the chair or on the wall, up to you. Try to make sure that your back is flat. Do not round your lower back, and try to keep your shoulders back as well. All right, we're halfway done. Let's switch legs. So we're going to do 25 seconds for each leg. And for every exercise we're going to do 2 rounds. So keep that in mind. Alright, our last one. Good job. Now we're going to use the chair again. We're going to do single leg squats onto the chair. So start by sitting down, and only one leg is going to push you up. You can do this without a chair to make it a pistol squat. It makes it significantly harder, but it's up to you. You can do just on the chair, or you can do the pistol squat. Alright, let's switch legs. So to engage your butt the most, what you're going to want to do is press off with your heels. If you're putting too much weight in your toes, it's going to cause a lot of stress on the knees, and you're going to be feeling the exercise mostly in your quads. And since we're trying to work our butt, let's try to keep most of the weight in our heels. Squeeze your butt as you stand up. For every exercise, squeeze your butt. Alright, good job. Now let's go back to the start. So we're going to do the single leg hip bridges again. All right, ready? And go. Remember, we only have a 10-second break in between. All right, let's try to move fast and let's switch legs. I'm lifting up my shirt here just to show you that your back should be flat the whole time. Try not to round your back at all. Try to keep it as flat as possible. That way you don't cause any stress in the low back. We're only trying to hit the butt and the hamstrings for this. Alright, so we're going into our single leg RDLs. Ready? And go. Alright, now let's switch legs. Remember, I'm putting my hand on the chair just in case I need an extra bit of balance. So up to you. Choose whatever you need to do. If it works for you not having to use extra balance, then that's totally fine. All right, good job. Now let's go bring our chair again and we're gonna do our single leg squats. Ready? Sit down as the start and let's go. All right, switch legs. Ready and go. Alrighty, good job. We are done with those. So we're not going to do those exercises anymore, and we're not going to use the chair anymore. So we're going to go into the next 3 sets of exercises. So thankfully, we're going to be on the ground the whole time. We're starting off with donkey kicks. So what you're going to want to make sure is that your back is nice and flat. Try to press your heel into the sky and squeeze your butt as much as you can. Try not to move that fast with this movement. Make sure you're holding it for a second or two at the top. Remember, switch on to the other side. Whatever you do on one side, we're going to do it on the other. And we're only going to do 25 seconds for each side. So try to make sure that you're transitioning pretty quick. Job. All right, now let's switch legs, and now our knee is going to go up to the side. We're going to do some fire hydrants. So still try to make sure that your back is nice and flat. Lift up that knee as high as it can go and hold it at the top for a few more seconds for an extra burn. All right, now let's switch on to the other side. All right, so from here, your leg is going to be straight and you're going to lift it up. So make sure that your leg stays straight the whole time. Lift it up as high as it can go. Hold it for a second or so at the top, and then slowly come back down. All right, now let's switch legs. Try to make sure that the transition is pretty quick. Alright, I'm sure your butt is feeling it now. Now we're going to go back into this again. So let's get ready and go back into the donkey kicks. Since I have longer arms, I have to bend at my elbows to make sure that I try to stay as flat as possible from my hips to my shoulders. So eventually that gets a little tiring and my elbows start to hurt. So you'll see me sometimes go to my forearms. You can totally do it from your forearms if you want to. It actually helps to avoid helping you arch the low back, since that's what we're trying to avoid. Alright, now let's go into the fire hydrants. Bring your knee up as high as you can and hold it for a second. Alright, switch legs. Alright, good job. 10-second break, and then we're going to go into the straight leg lifts. Alright, ready? And go. Make sure that the leg is straight the whole time. Squeeze your butt at the top. You should feel this a lot in the top part of your butt. Alright, now let's switch legs. Alright, good job. Now let's get a really quick drink of water because we only have 10 seconds break in between. Alright, we're going to a different set of exercises. Alright, so right now we're going to go into front lunges. We're going to stay stationary, so we're not going to move our legs at all. So remember, the heel and the knee are in line. Try to press off with that heel as much as you can and really squeeze your butt as you stand up. Alright, now let's switch legs. Alright, so from here we're going to do standing side leg raises. So you can hold a wall if you need to for a little balance. What you're going to do is you're going to lift one leg up to the side, going up pretty slow. Hold it at the top if you can, and then slowly come back down. So I'll show you from the side what that looks like. So your leg isn't going to be going too far back or too far forward, just simply straight out to the side. If you don't need a wall, that's okay too. Alright, now let's switch legs. Alright, so from here, our leg is going to go straight back. Still should be feeling this at the top part of your butt. So keep the leg straight, and then you're going to lift the leg back. Try to lift up the heel as you can. So it's okay if you stay slightly bent with your upper body. It makes it actually a little bit easier for your glutes to be activated when you're slightly bent. If you're standing up straight, you're probably not going to be doing the movement as effectively as you would if you were bent over. Alrighty, so back to the start. We're going to go back into those lunges. This is our very last set, so make sure that you give it all you got. Go down slow, go up slow. Remember, try to squeeze your butt, put most of the weight in the front leg. The back leg is just there for support. Alright, switch legs. Alright, so now we're going to do our standing side leg raises. Ready? And go. Remember, use the wall if you need to. If you don't need to, that's totally fine too. Alrighty, now let's switch sides. Alright, good job. I hope you're feeling it. I know I am. My butt's on fire. Alright, we're doing our very last exercise. So the leg is going to go straight out behind us. So remember, you can have a slight bend in your upper body. Lift up as high as you can. And squeeze the butt at the top for just a couple seconds. And then slowly come back down. Alright, good job. Let's switch legs. Alrighty, this is it. Good job. Thank you guys for joining and see you next time. Good job.